Hi, everyone. Welcome to Sunshine Botanicals. My name is Martha Bowers, and I will be facilitating and moderating tonight's call. And I'm here to introduce you to Emily Fritchey. Emily Fritchey is a um, holistic skin therapist, and she is our product formulator at Sunshine Botanicals. She is our founder at Sunshine Botanicals, and she's here to talk to you about the next course, which is the second level of the foundation to beautiful skin. So, Emily, without further ado.
Thank you, Martha, so much. And if you will load my images, that will be great because I'm very visual the way I think and the way that I talk. And I just want to say thank you. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for being here and for joining us tonight. Some of you that know me know this is my passion and know that I have an amazing team and an awesome brand, and we're on a mission. So when Martha pops up my slides, I'll be able to get started and guide you through where I want to go with this tonight. Now, let me say this about that. Okay? Yes, we know that. Okay. So, I would like to tonight I want to talk about what's next. Martha, I'll let you move that slide to the next one. This is my passion. This is my baby. And I'm picking up on our last live stream. Okay. That's what I'm doing. So every time I go live, we're going to build on a previous program. What my intent here is, guys, is to help you sort through all the noise that you experience online and in the world. And, it's a crazy place out there right now. How do you know what to believe, what's authentic, what's not, and what actually works? I am passionate about plant medicine as active ingredients and corrective skincare. And I am very passionate about taking care of my clients in my skincare clinic in Atlanta. And it's my happy place. And it's my happy place because what I do is about finding solutions, not selling products at all. I want you to understand that. So, what I've been at my work, I've been at this for longer than I want to say 35-ish years. And during that time, I've seen all of it and everything comes back around. So, what I would like to do tonight is to be able to give you information that can help you move forward in all of the processes that you're trying to sort through when it comes to how do I look good? How do I slow the aging process down? What's right, what's real, and what's not, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. So, I want to just give you a little glimpse on how I work with clients in my clinic today. So, the first thing I ask anyone that comes to see me in my clinic, which is the clinic at Sunshine Botanicals, is what concerns you the most about your skin? If I could be your fairy godmother and change something, what would it be? So if you guys have a mirror handy, reach in your purse, grab a compact, whatever it might be. What I want you to be thinking about as we move forward is what concerns you the most about your skin? If you came to see me or went to anyone else for treatments, are you buying a service? Or are you looking at the result of what that service gives you? So I want to separate all that. So grab a mirror. Let's talk about your skin and learn how to read what your skin is saying to you before you buy another product, anybody's product. So let's review. Let's sort out all the noise. Let's get to it. All right. Now, I'm going to say this honestly. What if fabulous, beautiful skin did not have to be so complicated? So many people today feel stuck. Can you relate to that? There's so many products and so many options, and there's influencers galore. Social media trends, copying your friend's routine, or buying products based on marketing ads instead of what your skin actually needs. Who can relate to that? When I got into skincare, I mean, I'm in a whole new world. This is a completely different planet. but truth is truth and it spans decades. So, what I want to talk to you tonight of is how do you match ingredients to skin conditions so that you get the results, right, that you want? Okay, people feel stuck and have bathroom drawers of half empty bottles, pots, and jars of, well, that didn't work. Now what's next? It's because the way we think about and approach skin correction is flawed. Okay. Now, at the end of the day, guys, it all comes down to this. The four pillars to beautiful skin are pretty simple. Healthy, radiant skin is not about luck or magic, it's about a foundation. Let me say that again. It's about a foundation. Everything we do at Sunshine Botanicals is built, hello, on these four essential pillars. When you support your skin in this way every single day, real and lasting change happens. So, what we want to talk about is not a product or what to do. It's like, how do we think? Because I guarantee you there's somebody out there that's going, I'm doing one of those, but not all four, right? So, if you want beautiful skin that glows, that is plump, that is not, you know, discolored and tight and dry and itchy, this is where we start. Cleansing and detoxification is number one. We have to start with a clean slate. We have to remove impurities, help the skin to breathe, and unblock all of the pores that have been congested with so much stuff, whether it's skincare or makeup, the skin is suffocating, it can't breathe. So, the first order of business is cleansing and detoxification, number one, so the skin can actually start to respirate and breathe again. That's where we begin. Before we add all the fancy schmancy serums and everything else, you've got to have the skin cleaned, not stripped, not red, not raw, but truly, truly clean and actually breathing. I could have a whole class just on that one thing. The second thing is hydration. Hydrated skin is healthy skin. We replenish and lock in moisture to support elasticity, comfort, and a strong skin barrier. Now, that doesn't just mean how much water you have consumed or anything else, but we'll talk about this more in upcoming classes, but we have moisturize, I'm sorry, moisture and hydration. They work together, but they're different. Hydration means water that is water binding into the tissues of your skin so you're not dehydrated. And recognizing the difference between dry skin and dehydrated skin is something else we're going to work on and help you understand. So this first step is cleansing, then you need to hydrate the skin, then we want to repair the skin. Okay, so nourishing and strengthening the skin to repair sun damage, calm inflammation, and support cell turnover and renewal is our active element. Okay, so cleansing, hydration, then we go for repair. And that's where we look for our active ingredients that are capable of doing that based on what our skin, your skin is doing. And then number four is protection and protecting your skin against the stressors such as UV pollination, I'm sorry, UV light, uh, pollination, oops, UV light, pollution, blue light, and free radicals are just at the top of the list. We're exposed to so much crap every day that, we need to protect the skin so that we're not constantly repairing it all the time. So if you get these ideas in your brain straight, cleansing, hydration, repair, and protection, that's what your skincare routine, no matter whose you're using, is critical. You have to look at every product and say, where does it fit? Does it fit in number one, number two, number three, number four, etc.? So that's what I'd like for you to just kind of adjust your thinking. And this is to help you be a more informed consumer, understand how to evaluate everything that you might be looking at, right? And know that does this make sense or not for me? Okay. And the most important thing of any corrective skincare routine is consistency. I'm hearing somebody groan out there. I can honestly hear that. It's like, okay, it's like we can go to town and just have a wonderful time with this new skincare system. And we do it for about a month and then we move on to life. Guys, I'm going to tell you, whatever you're doing, it's a lifestyle change. This is a form of healthcare, in my opinion. And consistency is the primary track that you need to be on for actually getting the results that you want to see so that you don't have bathroom drawers full of empty bottle or half empty bottles, pots, and jars. So, cleansing and detoxification, hydration, repair, and protection. There you go. So, let's put that in our heads so we can move forward. Now, what does that mean? So, in review, the biggest mistake that people make is buying products before. Listen to me on this, guys, because I want to help you. I've been here forever. I'm a dinosaur, okay, but in a good way. All right. The biggest mistake that I see people make is buying products before they understand what their skin is actually screaming for. Remember in the beginning of our program where I said, go grab a mirror, look at your face. Because I tell my clients that the ones that come to see me in my clinic, it's like, whoa, I want to know what you see. When you look in the mirror, right? What concerns you the most? If I could wave a magic wand and fix one thing, what would it be? I need to know that so I can know how to tell you to move forward with that. All right. So, the biggest mistake most people make is buying products before they understand what their skin is really screaming for when they look in the mirror and go, "Ah, what do we do?" Okay. And let's go to this. Your bestie's routine isn't your routine. We all do that, right? Oh, what'd you get? It's great. It's wonderful. Let's do this. And then you wonder why it doesn't work because your skins aren't the same, or maybe you're both just shooting at random opportunities, right? And then the third thing is your favorite influencer doesn't have your skin. They can talk about trends and feel and the looks of a product, but is it going to work for you? So my job is to help you know how to adjust, how to evaluate your own skin so that you're not um so that you know what you're doing out there in the wild wild west of beauty therapy. Okay, so there's the takeaways. All right, so today's focus is the second pillar of radiant skin. It's not about looks or I'm sorry, luck or magic. It's about the very foundation, and that's what we're built on. Now, we just talked about this, so this is kind of a reinforcement of whatever you do with any routine. Make sure you do steps one, two, three, and four, and understand what those mean well enough so you can look at any product you have in your bathroom or in your makeup bag and say, where does it fit? Is it one of these things or is it not? Okay. So let's look in the mirror. What's screaming the loudest for attention when you look in the mirror? Now, Martha, we have everybody can participate, right? And ask questions, correct?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
great.
Yep. I'm
Talk to me because I want these things to be interactive. And this Sunshine Botanicals is a community, and I really want us all to be comfortable talking to each other so you can really get the information that you need the most in your own life. So today I want us to become skin detectives. Get the mirror, look at it really closely, and and see if you can determine what your skin is screaming the loudest for attention. Not what annoys you, Not what social media says you could fix, but what is your skin truly asking for? Now I'm going to
Drop
say,
your message. Yeah, drop your messages in the chat on
please.
Facebook, and she'll address it from there.
Okay, now, Martha, I want to sit here for a minute. I want this to sink in. This is a different way to think because I mean, we're busy and we buy this and we do that and we hear this and we hear that. We're not doing that here, okay? Because your money and your time and everything is important. So you need to get this straight. So I just want to sit here for a minute and I want to sit with the thought of what is your skin truly asking for? How strange a question is that? It probably is. And you're probably going, huh? I want you to think about that and think about if your skin could talk, what would it say? Think about that for a minute. If you have any thoughts on that, type it in the chat. That's where you need to start. Okay. So there you go. Now, if you want your skin to change radically, we can do that. Martha, we're good. You can go on to the next slide, please. Okay. Now, when I talk to my clients in my clinic, I keep all the clinical lingo minimal because I'm dealing with real people here, right? I can get real science, real, clinical with you if you want, but let's talk about what's actually happening when you look in the mirror and say, what's happening? Emily, with my client, I'm looking at texture, I'm looking at skin color, and I'm looking at overall elasticity, sagging, lifting, what have you. So, what do you feel like when your skin is sliding south? What do we do? What are our options to, invasive procedures and injections and, all these other heavy duty treatments? What's really happening? So, when we're looking at overall elasticity, think about a rubber band and you're stretching it back and forth. Over time, it starts losing some of its snap for lots of reasons, but we want the skin to be able to snap so the skin is tight. So, loss of elasticity and skin sagging can look like you're tired. A loss of firmness, of course. The jawline tends to soften. We get collapse or the nasal labial folds around the mouth. All of this everything starts dropping. And we call it facial collapse and less bounce. It doesn't bounce back. So that's what we mean when we're talking about elasticity. So we're going to be talking about what to do about this later on in the treatment, but there's some amazing things to do holistically that will really pull the skin back up. And I can't wait to share it with you. But right now, I just want you to kind of stay with me on, the elasticity, texture, and color elements. So that's what we're talking about in elasticity. Now, what do we do about that? Sunshine Botanicals is built around all of these different skin challenges. Okay. So we're talking about a moisture connection, we're talking about elasticity, we're talking about firmness. And what your skin is telling you is my support system is weakening. So it's not just about moisture, but it's about where do we begin to turn this around so that my skin really does visually change. Most people immediately think, oh, I know, it's collagen, right? But collagen building processes cannot cannot function properly in dehydrated tissues. Moisture, hydration, two different things, they come together. Okay. A dehydrated skin is like a raisin because the moisture is gone. So we need to get not just layer heavy moisture, but we need to bump up the skin and really restore the moisture content on a deep level, not just on the surface level. And a hydrated skin is like a grape. So think of a raisin and a grape. That's moisture and that's hydration. I'm sorry, that is hydration. Excuse me, I was wrong. That is hydration. Moisture is another thing. Moisture helps create the environment necessary for elasticity, repair, and healthy aging. You can't plump what you don't hydrate. I'm not kidding. Guys, I see people that come in and it's I love my job. I'm like a little kid. My clients laugh at me because I get so much joy out of being able to connect the dots and fill in the blanks and fix these issues. But it's with these basic principles. You can't plump what you don't hydrate. And if you make a few simple switches in your skincare routine, you can fix that problem. So, loss of elasticity, your support system is weakening. And for collagen, the skin has to be hydrated to be able to do anything with that. Okay. So, Martha, you want to continue?
Yes.
Uh-huh. All right, now let's talk about texture. We see that, and it's a big, big, big deal. Texture, congestion, and enlarged pores. Who can identify with that? Anybody? This is a biggie, and I start here probably, I don't know, 8 out of 10 times when I'm working on a client. Does your skin feel smooth when you touch it, or does it feel coarse, rough, and uneven? Skin texture is a biggie. And if what can happen is with sun damage, with improper care, with congested skin, with lack of knowledge, the pores get huge. They're filled with oils, and we end up using um, cleansers that strip the skin, and we go in this revolving door inflammation, redness, large pores. We're still not any better. Now, I'm going to keep this simple. I get so into this, guys, that I'm just trying to dial it back here. I want you to understand that looking at the texture of your skin, close your eyes, touch your face. How does it feel? You know, whether you've just cleansed your skin or you've been at work all day and you reach up and touch your face, how does it feel? Unless we dissolve congested oils, waxes, and sebum in the skin that fill up the pores, that cause the skin to become super congested, nothing can get in. Please let me say that again a different way. If you're using great ingredients, they're amazing, they're wonderful, they're not toxic, they're great, they're, top shelf. Guess what? If it cannot get into the skin because the texture is rough, it is coarse, it's congested, the pores are huge, and nothing can get into the skin, you're wasting your money and you're wasting your time, and you're not going to get the results that you want. That's why we go back to that 4 step. Here's the 4 pillars. You have got to get that skin clean. You've got to get that texture refined and resurfaced so the skin can actually breathe and then be able to receive great ingredients. We use plants, we use peptides, we use a lot of cool things, but that has to be able to get in. Now, the moisture connection, let's jump to that. We've got texture, congestion, and enlarged pores. What is your skin telling you? It's telling you it's not shedding properly. Before I get into this material right here, I'm going to tell you, think of a roof on a house. If you've got roofing shingles, one overlaps the other. Okay? If the skin is not exfoliated in a healthy way on a regular basis, dead skin cells continue to rise every single month and replace each other just like this. And it becomes almost it blocks the skin's ability to receive anything. Moisture, healthy ingredients, botanicals, herbs, whatever it might be. So texture and congestion and enlarged pores on your face is telling you I'm not shedding properly. Many folks use aggressive acids, peels, and you name it, first one thing and then 12 to try to address this. And I see the results of it in my clinic almost Well, every month I see a version of this. Okay. So, there are enzymes that are responsible for a natural exfoliation process for the skin to function at its best when moisture levels are adequate. Look, let me put that in plain English. We need to chisel away the dead, dry, dull layers of skin without stripping it, without causing inflammation, so the skin can start to breathe again. That's what I'm saying. Okay. When the skin becomes dehydrated, dead skin continues to accumulate. Remember those little roofing shingles, one on top of the other? Okay. And dead skin accumulates, congestion increases, pores appear larger, and texture becomes more intense. Please hear this. I'm going to say this before we go to our next slide. And that is when a pore is large, and I'm trying to show you with my hands here, right? But when a pore is enlarged, it means it's filled with oils and waste, whatever it might be, makeup, whatever. And the pore has no option of what to do but to stretch, and it gets bigger. Oop, there's my hand, bigger and bigger and bigger, depending on how much buildup has lodged its way into the pore. So you can use an acid cleanser all day long and you're not going to get that oil to go away. So it takes an oil to melt another oil, which is why I created the products that I've made and created the double cleanse system that will just blow your socks off because the skin is actually breathing again for the first time ever. Now, I know this is a lot of information and I'm trying not to overwhelm anybody, but I just want you to understand that if you have enlarged pores, you've got oils, waxes, sebum, makeup, whatever that is filling up that pore, and the pore gets bigger and bigger and bigger because where's it going to go? So it takes an oil to melt another oil. And what I've created is a blend that's anti-inflammatory and dissolves and just chews away excess waxy buildup in the pores and reduces redness and inflammation in the process. I hope you understood that. I'm warned by my team. Don't get too deep, right? But I don't know how to tell you this without it. So, skin can become dehydrated, dead skin cells accumulate, congestion increases, pores get bigger, and texture gets tougher. So, what does healthy skin look like? It's luminous. How's that for a word? Does anybody even know what I'm talking about? Luminosity means it reflects light, it's healthy, it's not congested, and it's just plump. And I have taken people with skin that has been written off and turned that back around by blending these correct things together. It's a process, it's not overnight, but it's amazing how quick that works. So, bottom line of this whole slide is it reducing congestion without stripping the skin so that the dead, dull layers of dry, congested material that's packed on the surface can go away. And I just love it when clients are in my clinic and go, I can't believe that's my skin. Yes, it's your skin, but you didn't know what you didn't know because you've been carrying around so much of this buildup forever. You didn't know what luminous, healthy, plump skin looks like. So, yeah, I get excited about it. So, thank you very much. Sometimes rough skin isn't asking for more exfoliation, it's asking for more hydration. Okay. Now, does your skin feel thirsty? What does it look like? Tight skin, flakiness, crepey appearance. Who can identify with crepey skin? If we've got young people on here, they're going to go, what? If we've got older people on here, women over 50, you're going to get it. Okay. And fine lines appear more intense. Okay. Moisture connection, dryness, and dehydration. What is your skin telling you? It's saying, I'm thirsty. Okay. This one seems obvious, but many people make the mistake oil for moisture. You can have oily skin, you can have acne prone skin, and you can have congested skin and still be dehydrated because oil and moisture are not the same thing. You need a balance. Now, redness, inflammation, and sensitivity. And how about this? Does your skin r- overreact to everything? Well, what does this look like? Flushing, irritation, burning, stinging, and reactive skin. And we see so much of that even with other conditions. So, the moisture connection for this with redness, inflammation, and sensitivity is the skin barrier. You may have heard of this, but it's huge and it's big in media. But it means that's that top layer of our skin that must be protected to prevent uh, bacteria and everything else from absorbing into the skin and to protect us from a toxic world. So, what your skin is telling you is a healthy barrier, healthy skin barrier depends on your balance. When moisture levels drop, now this is important. When moisture levels drop, irritation increases, sensitivity increases, inflammation increases, and recovery, if you're dealing with any kind of physical skin issue or chemotherapy, radiation, post care from aggressive procedures, recovery becomes slow. So that's why this is really important. So, a compromised skin barrier is a big deal, and I see it, I must say this, as a revolving door in corrective skincare because people are struggling with this and the the skin barrier must be protected. And if you use too many aggressive topicals day after day, like retin-A or retinols or any, I could go on and on with topical corrective agents, it can cause a corrosion, if you will, on the surface of the skin and open that skin to opportunistic bacteria, and it can create an inflammatory response that becomes a trial and error experience for the body, and it never gets better. So people are constantly looking for treatments for what is called either rosacea or redness. That's a whole nother class, guys. I'm not going to get into that. But redness and irritation, and unless that skin barrier is protected, and it's not compromised, you can open the skin up to opportunistic bacteria that can create issues that really can become complicated when you're trying to just deal with how good you look. I mean, right? That's what we're here for tonight. How do I have beautiful skin and not have to, how do I sort through it all? I'm giving you this information, you guys, so that you can at least have some understanding when you are exposed to so many different options and alternatives where you kind of need to be. So if your skin barrier is compromised, it means it needs hydration, it needs moisture, the cleansing approach to your skin needs to be different in order to rebuild that skin. You know, the worst skin in the world can be rebuilt. You can absolutely trash your skin. I'm not encouraging you to do that, but you can do that and then with the right care and the right approach, build it back. And I've helped people do that for a long time. So there you go. Anyway,
Emily,
skin barrier.
we have a question. How
Yes.
does the radical recovery gel help inflammation and breakouts?
Oh, whoever asked that, thank you so much. That product is made with 32 parts per million pure colloidal silver. And colloidal silver has been used in Europe for in burn units for years, and it is a very, very powerful wound healer. Now, I'm sorry, Martha, repeat the way the question was asked again.
How does the radical recovery gel help with acne?
Oh gosh, it completely. Wow, how does it help with acne? It helps to kill the P. acne bacteria deep in the follicle and cystic acne, and the skin is um, the redness is gone. The look, wait a minute. I'm sorry. Too many thoughts coming out of my head, you guys. Bear with me for a second. It kills the P. acne bacteria deep in the follicle. Okay. It reduces redness and inflammation, and it helps to heal traumatized skin. That's exactly what it is. 32 parts per million of pure colloidal silver is very strong. Guys, this is a beautiful, well, it's a healing gel that we make at Sunshine Botanicals. And I will tell you, it's a powerhouse be used several times a day to help heal, especially cystic acne and heavy duty acne challenges.
All right.
Okay, pigmentation and uneven skin tone. Let's talk about that. Brown spots, brown entire patches on the skin, sun damage, dark spots, post breakout marks, uneven skin color, um, pregnancy mask, all of those things fall under pigmentation. So when you look in the mirror, do your eyes go directly to discoloration? Now, what I want to do is I'm going to talk about this in general, but if you guys have some specific questions, ask me because there are tools and there are things available that are beyond the scope of skincare products, right? There are things that you can do depending on the situation. So ask me and I'll tell you where to go. But sun damage and pigmentation, that's our next topic. So let's move on to the next slide. All right. What your skin is telling you. And if with pigmentation, it is, I'm sorry, to repair. Excuse me. Let me move this so I can see my screen. I'm struggling to repair previous damage. Okay. Now, most people immediately, who wouldn't, reaches for skin brighteners, acids, whatever, okay, excuse me. Most people reach for a solution in serums, brighteners, or products that lighten pigment, right? Of course, wouldn't you? But corrective ingredients work better when skin is hydrated and functioning optimally. That's why I'm going to go back to that four pillars that I shared with you earlier, because unless those four things all come together every single day, you're not going to get the predictable outcome that you want on so many of these other things. So you've got to have the skin hydrated before you go into the corrective work. Skin repairs more efficiently when it's hydrated. It tolerates corrective products better because some of these things can be very strong. You can use niacinamide or retinol or azelaic acid or these other ingredients that are great to lighten pigment. But if your skin is not hydrated and the skin barrier is not balanced, you can throw it out of balance with some of these active ingredients. Okay? So cells also turn over more effectively. And so pigmentation is an hour-long class or discussion, if you will, all by itself. And if you want this and you want more information, I'll be happy to dive into that for you. But I just want to give you the high level here right now. Your skin is telling you, I'm struggling to repair previous damage, sun damage, whatever it might be. And so get the foundation balanced before you bring in the heavy artillery. Okay.
So someone did ask specifically about dark spots. Can you address that a little bit more in depth?
Sure. I'm just going to speak to it the way it was asked. Uh, there are great ingredients that can help lighten pigment on the skin. I made a formula in our line that uses niacinamide, 20% L-ascorbic acid, vitamin C, and peptides, and it does wonders for pigmentation. Now, when we're talking about spots, if you're just talking about a spot, whether it's on the hands, on the face, on the arms, wherever it might be, There are some wonderful ways that this can be eliminated, and I do it in my clinic. And I use plasma, and these spots can be uh, zapped and removed. It's that simple. I always encourage my clients to work before I do the spot zapping to get the skin smooth, even, and hydrated before I do that. Otherwise, if I just zap a spot, you still have the rest of the discoloration and the blotchy, and the skin doesn't look pretty. So, more about that later. But I use there are some great things that use that that can be done. I use plasma, and it's electrodesiccation is the name of it. So I use plasma um, energy to deal with sunspots, hyperpigmentation, but sunspots, spider veins, and skin tags, all of those things that need to go. And it's a quick fix. It does, I mean, I put a little numbing cream on there and you're good for a little bit, and we zap it, and the little spot ultimately scabs over and falls off in a few days, and you go home with the right corrective solution, such as the silver gel that you got that I was just asked about later, because it's amazing for healing for wounds. So our radical recovery gel, and especially for zapping sunspots, our rapid repair balm is incredible for that. So you can get rid of all of it. There's just different approaches for different situations. So plasma is the tool that I use in my clinic to get rid of sunspots.
Thank you.
Mhm. Okay, guys. Now, I got to tell you something. If you guys are all online and you're looking at everything, there's a bazillion tools and a bazillion products out there, right? What I'm coming to you with is what I'm doing in my clinic all the time that I'm getting these results on. And I've got before and after pictures. We can show you that later. Okay. So just keep that in mind. But I want to show you a tool that I use in my clinic with all of my clients and that I use at home for me that is bangarang. Okay. So and I'm not here, I think I told you, I'm not here to talk to you about about products, right? But obviously we need products. I am an herbalist. I'm an herbalist. Excuse me. I think like a chemist. I work like an herbalist. I make products and I match ingredients to skin condition. That's what we bring to the table. So we can give you great results. Now, when we're using botanicals and peptides and vitamin C and some of these other cool, super cool ingredients on the skin, what can we do to power it up? Well, I found a device that somebody put in my hand, because I am not a gadget girl, because it's all, to me, it was all hype. Well, I have found a tool that's not. And so much so that if you took it away from me, I would throw a fit. But this is a wonderful little tool that I add to my protocols that I wanted to share with you, because I use energy, frequency, and plant active ingredients in my clinic to get the results and really change a face. I do massage, I do lymphatic drainage, I do energy work. We put all that together. But with that being said, this is an amazing little tool called My Skin Buddy. We sell it on our website because when somebody put this in my hand and I'm like, I don't want to see it as another internet gadget. Well, I'm like, they're like, just use it, will you? And I'm like, yeah, okay, I did. And I'm like, whoa, this is amazing. So I did my own research. I snooped it out and I found it. And I'm like, this stuff is amazing. So let me tell you a little bit about a device that's worth its weight in gold that I wouldn't do your face without. Now, it goes great with my botanicals. Boom, it's awesome. This is energy plus frequency plus LED light, and it will amplify your whole skincare routine. This neat little tool is, to me, it's what a toothbrush is to dental hygiene. That's how important this is. This is I'm sorry, it does four things to the skin, and it has a cute little stand. It sits in my bathroom by my toothbrush, so I can do it with my treatments every day. It has four different functions. It's ionization, LED light, massage, and heat therapy. So it does all of this. So it can move out lymphatic fluid. It can help, move out puffy under the eyes, lift the lids. And depending on the setting you put it on, it can have a positive or a negative ionization, which means a negative ionization is going to push things into the skin, and a positive ionization is going to pull things out. So, depending on how you set this, you could use that simple little tool with your cleansers or with your serums, depending on how you sit it. One can pull things out and help exfoliate the skin, the other setting can push active ingredients deep into your skin. So, be careful what you use with it, right? And it's just amazing. So it has all these spectrums of light. It comes with all its own web, you can go to My Skin Buddy on YouTube and see how to use it. But I use it with Sunshine Botanicals because it's just the bomb. It's that simple. It's simple, it works, it's reliable, it's well made, and it delivers some great results. So if you want to take a basic skincare routine and power it up and not blow a ton of money on all these latest devices that end up in the drawer, right? No, you want to use My Skin Buddy. You can do that 3 minutes in the morning with your cleansers and at night before you go to bed, or you get up in the morning and maybe you had too many margaritas the night before, or maybe, you're just puffy. Whip out your Skin Buddy with the products, especially with our, oh my goodness gracious, um, cleanse and purify, our seaweed rosemary lavender cleanser in the morning, and it will wake you up like that, and it will take out the puffiness around your face so you can go to work and look really great, right? Anyway, I could go on and on, but I just wanted to say you can amplify your skincare routine with energy, frequency, and LED light with this wonderful little tool called My Skin Buddy that we have on our website. So I know this has been a lot to digest, but my goal was really to help you guys understand how to think about all the bazillions of options you're presented every day. I'm on a mission. I have been a clinical esthetician my whole life, really, 35 years. Wink, wink. Okay. So I still have a private practice as well as developing the Sunshine Botanicals brand. And I love my work. I love my people. I love my job. I love to be able to get hands-on faces. And this is essentially, guys, my lab. I have chemists and I have herbalists that all work with me to pull all this together. But I'm the one doing faces, right? So I'm seeing how all this happens. So the clinic is essentially my laboratory. It's where science, nature, skin therapy, energy, frequency, and botanical medicine all come together. My clinic is located out in the country. It's a beautiful destination place just south of the Atlanta airport, and this is my happy place. That said, my passion is to take these amazing plants and process them correctly to give you something I can be so proud of and tell you that this is going to help solve the problem. I work with cancer patients, oncology patients, aging and problem skin, you name it. So we put all of that together to be able to bring you simple solutions. They really are simple. The understanding of it's what's sometimes complicated, but I don't want anybody taken advantage of by the marketing machine on the internet. So my goal with my live streams is I want to bring education, information, and answer questions, guys. So please let me hear from you. Even if you hear this later, um, just talk to me, and I think of me as a resource. That's the way my clients treat me. And I would love to help you achieve the goals when it comes to how you look at yourself in that mirror. I want you to be thrilled. I want you to feel good about yourself. I want you to be positive, and I don't want you to feel frustrated. So that's what this is all about. And I just really appreciate you taking the time to join me tonight.
So join
And
our family.
yes, okay, you're part of our family. We have wonderful people here that are all so passionate. And this is a community. Guys, we're going to be growing. I need to hear from you. Please talk to me. Let me hear what you need, because and it can be outside the box of Sunshine Botanicals. That's okay. I talk to my clients about stuff like this all the time. We're about education, empowerment, honest conversations, holistic skin health, and real solutions. How about that? Let's just get down to it. We want to see great things happen. So whether you're struggling with aging skin, sensitivity, inflammation, rosacea, breakouts, or just trying to understand what your skin needs in a crowded market of beauty products, and you have no idea where to start, remember those four pillars: cleansing and detoxification, hydration, repair, and protection. That's core. Everything else is extra. Okay. You are welcome here, and we're excited about growing with you. Okay. I'm sorry, Martha.
So,
Uh-huh.
just as a reminder, we're going to be back on the 23rd and we're going to be talking about the third pillar. So, you'll be getting more information on that. So, for coming and visiting with us tonight, we want to offer you, with any $50 purchase, you get 15% off your order. The coupon is Live15. The coupon will be good through the 12th of June, and which will be Friday. And you'll also receive a full size of the Total Eclipse BB cream. Would you like to explain a little bit about the BB
I
cream,
would
Emily?
love it. Guys, this is a big deal. Total Eclipse is a chemical-free environmental protector. We call it a BB cream because it is BB cream just means three in one. It's an intense, potent antioxidant, anti-aging treatment. It's a tinted moisturizer, and it is a UV and environmental protector. We use zinc and titanium oxide powdered as the ingredients in that, and it's a gorgeous finishing treatment. If I do your skin, you're never going to need foundation again. But Total Eclipse, we don't leave the house without it. And it is just beautiful. You can find out all the information and the ingredients on this on our website. But this is a $57 value that we want to give you with any purchase. We're so excited and so confident you will love this. So it's our way of saying we love you and we thank you.
And also, if you're located in the Atlanta area and would like to have an experience treatment with Emily, you can receive 15% off of any skincare service and also get your free BB cream at that. So just drop a message and we'll get you connected to her booking page, and you can book your appointment with her and experience real holistic skincare from the Skin Whisperer. And on that, we're going to close this off. Thank you for attending. We appreciate your time. We know that your time is important. And if you have any skincare concerns that you would like answers to, please feel free to drop them in the chat. And I'm going to say, I know we did not get this on the Sunshine Botanical page, and I will be posting it there. But we'll get it. We will get this mastered before we do the 23rd. And we'll see you on the 23rd of June. Have a great evening. Bye now.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Martha.